Update 70 was released overnight, so let's take a closer look at it. Starting us off, we have the new vehicles. The cheapest of the bunch is this new side-by-side, a small off-road vehicle that goes about 70 kilometers an hour. It's relatively cheap, so I'll give it a 7/10. Next up, we have this WB Porsche, which is one of the best cars in this update. Unfortunately, I don't have this, so I'll rate it by looks, giving it a 10/10. Next up is this electric Rolls-Royce. You can acquire this car by just joining the game. For that, I'll give it a 9/10. It's a free car. Now we have this Mercedes Speedster. This is the Mission Points car in this update. It is beautifully designed, so it gets a 9/5/10. The next task car in this update is this Ferrari. I would critically acclaim it, but it's very generic compared to other cars in the game, so I'll give it a 7/10. Lastly, we have a Mobile Crusher, the second Mobile Crusher in the game. This vehicle can crush an entire tank, and works similarly to the Wall Crusher. It's the most unique car of this update, and for its immense features, it gets a 10/10. Now let's turn our attention to the newly added islands. We have a NASCAR speedway outside row 4, a massive desert with a small runway, ravine, and a highway that runs through it. Outside row 2 we have a city, with interactable buildings, a suburban living area, along with a beachside housing area. The center of attention in this update is the volcano that takes about 5 minutes or more, depending on the car, to drive up to the top. There are 2 ramps, one going down and one going up. It propels your car up to 675 kilometers an hour, which leads you to our old friend, the runway. The runway, once outside row 2, has now been shifted onto the edge of the islands. Design-wise, it has stayed relatively the same. Lastly, here are the patch notes, which includes details I haven't mentioned in this video. In conclusion, I feel like this update shows us what the developers think of car crushers to ease future, especially with the city and suburbs. I feel like the devs are gonna make the game into a roleplay game, and make it compete with other large roleplay games on Roblox. This update is a massive W for the CC to roleplay community. Despite the large map, I'd say that most players are still gonna be stuck in the facility grinding their free time away.